All right, joining us this morning is Sam Powell-Pepper, who is almost a household name now in the AFL world. He made his debut in 2017, is also from Western Australia. I've got David Bourne here with me as well. Welcome, David, but welcome to you, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So, David, I'll throw over to you.
Good, Sam. Okay, we understand, obviously, as you grew up, firstly attending Mount Lawley and then heading over to Wesley College halfway through year 10. So just tell us a little bit about your sport career leading up to that point. You know, what other sports might you have played and, why was it that football became such a passion for you?
Yeah, so ever since I was young, I just had the love of football, AFL, so always had a footy in my hands, always dreamt of obviously making AFL, but I dabbled into a couple of other sports, like I played cricket for about 4 years. I wasn't too great at that, but every ball I saw I just try and smack, so I didn't have the patience for it, but still had a bit of fun. But yeah, it wasn't until I got to Wesley that I started playing a bit of basketball with a few of the other boys like Shay and Quinton and a few of the other brothers. So yeah, that's pretty much my sports growing up. So.
Sam, obviously we know you on the football field and how you play, but did you ever get coerced or asked to go to rugby at any stage?
No, actually, each time rugby come up on the screen on TV or whatever, my few family friends or mates say that I would have done all right. So, no, I don't mind a bit of rugby, but never had the chance to actually play it. So, yeah.
Great. All right, so if you think back to your junior days, can you remember a single sporting win that you were involved in that just stands out for you?
Sporting win?
Yeah, on the football field probably. So a particular game that for you was, just really sticks in your memory for good reasons, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely, I'd say probably one of the state games that we played in my underage year. I was playing underage 18s, and I think we were down by South Australia kicked the goal in the last minute to put them up by 5 points, and then ended up kicking a winning set shot from outside 50. So that probably stuck in my mind as a good little win for me. Yeah.
Right. Good. Sam, I remember back in year 10 when you came to the school and, that 6 months was a real transition period. But one thing that you were able to do was sort of get yourself in real shape over a 12-month period there where I think you would have come in and you would have been well above 90 kilos at that sort of point and, you transitioned your body and got yourself really fit. Can you just explain how you did that and what sort of motivated you? What was the point that really changed for you at that stage?
Yeah, for me, coming in, I probably didn't know a whole lot about my diet and things like that. And I think it wasn't until I got into the AIS first stage, they had an interview with one of the clubs and they said if I wanted to play AFL, I had to switch on and start taking these things serious. So I got on top of my diet and looked outside the box, started doing a bit of hot yo-yo and whatnot. So I kind of just wanted to give it a crack, so take my game to the next level and just be a bit more professional. I wasn't 100%, but I was just taking those little steps towards becoming a professional footballer.
So out of your diet, what would you say were some of the things that you removed from your diet and then added to your diet that really made a difference?
For me, it was probably just the portion size, probably not overeating, cutting down a little bit of carbs, and also adding a bit more veggies and a bit more fruit to the diet. So it sounds pretty simple, but it works out pretty well. So.
And I know you did some yoga and that sort of became a part of your routine. How important was that for you and is it something you're still doing?
Yeah, that was very important for me. Definitely got a lot more flexible. I lost a bit of weight as well, so it has a lot of benefits. And it has a lot of like injury prevention benefits as well, you know. So if you're stretching like that constantly, you prevent a lot of injuries. And I still do it till now. Probably not as much yoga, but just like a bit of stretching and a bit of meditation and stuff when I can. So yeah, it's a bit of a routine now. So
great, good. Okay, let's fast forward to draft night 2016. Okay, Port Adelaide took you with pick 18. Just for the boys that will be listening to this, do you want to just talk through the emotions of that night? Where were you? What did it feel like? And, you know, obviously the relief and also the excitement of getting picked up at 18 by Port Adelaide.
Yeah, definitely. So the night before, I couldn't sleep. I was just so nervous, so excited, just restless. And then the day finally came, and had family and friends over around at the Delors house, and yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. Seeing a few of the boys' names go before me, a few of the lads that I knew, was really excited for them. And once my name finally got called out, it was just like a rush of just pure like excitement and just like relief that my name finally got called out. And yeah, everyone was super proud of me, and all that hard work over the years leading up to that. But no, it's obviously just the beginning of your career, so you soak that all up, and then you just can't wait to get over and meet all the lads and get stuck into it.
And what was that like walking into Port Adelaide, and obviously some of the senior players there that have been there a long time and, you know, had clearly, you know, sort of dominated for that team for a while. So your Robbie Grays, your Travis Boakes, you know, Justin Westhoff, those sort of bigger household names. What was it like meeting those guys when you first got there?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, to be honest. Well, we always sit back in the bloody boarding house and watch games, and you watch all the AFL players. You watch all these AFL players, and you just once you get into the environment, and you're shaking their hands and you're watching them train and you're learning off them. It's pretty crazy, and you try and soak it all in because it's like it's an unreal experience, and you remember it for the rest of your life.
So your first game, I remember watching your first game against Sydney Swans, and you had a great game. You kicked 2 unbelievable goals in that game. You know, what it must have been, I suppose, you know, beyond your wildest dreams to be on the SCG, to have a win like that against Sydney. You know, what were your memories, or what memories do you have of that game?
Yeah, definitely, man. You can't really explain it. Like, the first game's always just pure excitement, and like pretty much Kenny or the coach, whoever coaches it, just tells you to go out there and just play with freedom and just give it a crack. So you don't overthink too much with the formations and whatnot, but yeah, I just kind of went out there and just did my thing and kicked a couple goals, which was, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Going back to that first season, you had a great first season. You were right in the mix there for the Rising Star. You know, was there a moment in that first season where you had to pinch yourself and recognise that you were playing against the big boys, or was there a point, you know, or a player that you just couldn't believe how good they were when you actually got on the field against them at that stage?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon it'd come up to the one of the games against Richmond, because yeah, obviously growing up, or probably 3 years into leading into the draft, I was just trying to emulate Dustin Martin, just trying to play exactly like him, and just obviously looked up to him. And then finally got to line up against him, and it was crazy. Got to shake his hand and whatnot, and then it was just playing from there. I think one instance I ended up palming him off and looked down and it was him, and that's probably one of the times where I actually pinched myself and I was like, is this actually happening?
Mate, that's
and then a minute later he got me back. So
I was about to say that fending Dusty would be, I mean, boys dream of that stuff. Some boys don't even think that would ever happen, that Dusty actually gets fended as well. So just a couple ones to finish with, mate. We talk a fair bit at Hale here about being a team player and being the best teammate you can be. In your time with Port, is there someone that stands out and has taught you a lot about that aspect of team first, like someone you look up to, not necessarily the best player, but the best teammate?
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's probably Travis Boak. I obviously live with him. I'm housemates with him, but since the first day I came in, he just takes time out of his day to come introduce himself to the young boys, and even off field he gets them around to his place and just makes them feel welcome. And he's not the captain anymore. He's just a unbelievable teammate, captain, leader. Whenever he speaks, everyone just listens, and he'll literally do anything for the boys. And I think that's why he's one of the best teammates I've played with. So.
Yeah. Travis loves his fishing, Sam. I've spoken to you about that previously. If I was to have Travis on the line here now and asked him what sort of fisherman you'd be like, what would he say?
Oh, he'd say terrible. I'm too impatient. I can go out there and have a bit of fun, but it's probably not my thing.
Yeah. If we were to ask Ken Hinckley to describe you in one sentence, what would you like him to say, and then what would he actually say?
I'd like him to say probably I'm a selfless teammate, and I always got my mates back, and caring, and good work ethic. Yeah,
okay. Now, Mitch Georgiades, now he was a Hale boy. He left here last year. He's now a teammate of yours at Port.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions when Mitch walked in the door last November?
I've obviously heard about him through the draft and whatnot, and first impressions was he's pretty quiet at the start, but now that I've gotten to know him and a few of the lads gotten around him, he's just like another one of the lads. He just always cracks jokes, and he fits in pretty well. And yeah, obviously for him to play his first game in his first season's pretty crazy for him, and all the boys love him, so he's fitting in very well.
Excellent. We interviewed him earlier in the week, and we asked him after his second goal. You probably noticed, or you might have seen it on the replay, that he did this tap dance celebration with Xavier Dersma. Yeah. What do you think of that, mate? And I know Xavier's got his own celebration, but is Mitch heading down the path of celebration per goal?
I don't know about that. I think a few of the boys are a bit questioning that celebration, but if that's what he likes to do, then it's up to him. But it's good to have characters and just have a bit of fun. Just can't always just be doing the same old stuff. So
absolutely,
that was a bit of fun. So that's all good.
Absolutely. Now, last question, mate. Now we have this thing at Hale here. I'm not sure if Wesley had it, but it's called Pie Day. So on Tuesdays, all the boarders, they get a choice of 5 different pies. All the staff get pies, and they some of the things the boarders do with the pies aren't great in terms of taking the lid off, putting sauce in, eating it with a spoon. How does Sam Powell-Pepper eat a meat pie?
I just chuck tomato sauce on the top of it and then just eat it from there. I'll pack it up on top and then that's it.
Excellent. You probably turned a lot of boarders off, but in the day boy population, mate, you've earned a lot of respect with that answer, I reckon. So,
I noticed a lot of the boys at Port, at the boarding house in Wesley, they do a lot of stuff with it, but I don't mess around too much with it.
Yeah, you can't trust the boarders too much. So, Sam, look, on behalf of David and myself, thank you so much for giving up some time. There'll be kids listening to this the next couple of weeks, scattered across all of Western Australia. Just keen to hear about your story, and we hope you and your family stay safe and well for the next couple of weeks, and see you back out there at some point later in the year.
No worries. Appreciate it, boys. Thanks for having me.
Okay, see you, Sam.
See you, mate. Have a good one.